wife and I were laying in bed and we wanted to have sex, but she works very hard and I'm just old, so we were both tired. But we decided to have sleep sex. And in our dreams, the sex was awesome. But in reality, it was just average. Now I'd like to bring up Mia Li.
Hi everybody, my name is Mia Li. And Mr. Wu, the handsome there, that's a very tough act to follow. But woo to you. Yeah, I'm supposed to say my name and what I do. My name is Mia and I'm a woman. So just like Mr. Wu, the handsome, I picked up English rather late in life. And I also talk to other fellow English learners. And there's two lines that they always say that are my favorite. I met this girl who said, you know, my father is very impotent. I was like, so if that's the case, how did you come up, which lab? And the other one is this really cute, the cutest guy ever. And he said, you know, everybody's a eunuch. Everybody's a eunuch. I'm like, I've walked on people like in the bathroom doing, I don't think that's the case either. Yeah, so, and I also know this girl who, when she speaks, she never pluralizes any of her nouns. So she'd be like, okay, in the morning when I go out, I put on my shoe. Oh, and my shoe, and my glove, and my glove. So, like, we would say chopsticks, and she would say chopstick and chopstick. Each special in their own way. Too special to be put into one category, like Tony and Steve. No, seriously, like when you think about it, I think that's how the China's one-child policy came about. You know, when it's time for the government to make the announcement, the government came out and said, all right, each Chinese family is allowed to have child. And the other person be like, you mean children? Children. No, what the hell is children? Child! Because child is future. They also don't like any articles. They don't put any or the in front of their nouns. And then I don't have any evidence of this, but I suspect that's what happened to the political system in '49. You know, when Mao won the Great War and the Civil War, and you know, the other parties came about and said, oh, great, I saw that you wrote the Constitution that we should have democracy, and we are other political parties in the country. And Mao said, yeah, political party, we have that already. we have party already. And he said, so have you guys ever fired a gun before? And the other parties are intellectuals, right? They're like, no, we don't even we don't even know how to hand a gun. And Mao was like, oh, all right. Would you mind pissing off? I have no evidence of this, but I suspect. You know, and yet I work for this U.S. paper, and this paper is full of people who uses China, right? They uses China to scare American people into doing things they want the Americans to do. You know, they would say, for example, oh my God, China has got one wind turbine. They're investing in green energy. Like Obama is so far behind. Just invest in green energy, like tax people more, and you know, because China is full of wind turbines now. And on the other side of the ocean, we got this wind turbine, and our dear leader is standing under it, saying, "Oh, great! If we can get it to turn that way, we can dry 7 shirts at the same time." And the scientists would be like, you know, that's not a drying rack. That thing actually powers other things. You know, like the vibrator for your wife or something. But the dear leader, like, when has the dear leader ever listened to any scientists in China? Yeah, so I'm a Chinese person. And also, like, the reason that these columnists, so-called, the world is flat. The world probably is flat in Bangalore. Have you been to any other town in India? The reason that they're able to use these things to scare American people into doing the things they want them to do is that, like, Americans are generally very ignorant of China, how China works, right? So at this party recently, I met this guy who said, "Oh, you know, how do you guys keep saying that the party controls everything? The party only controls its members, right? And not everybody is a member." And then I was holding this drink, and I just did not know how to respond to this kind of ignorance. So I just basically turned around and went away. And he said, "Oh, like, don't forgive me. I'm not into politics." I'm like, it's like saying that you've been living here for 5 years and you still don't know how to get home at the end of the night, and you say, "Oh, I'm really not into geography." That really pisses me off. Yeah, and as a Chinese person, I don't give a shit about Chinese culture. But recently I had to accompany this friend to go on a calligraphy class. So he's like, "Oh, I want to learn about, like, calligraphy and, I don't know, stamp making and all that." So we went there, we sat down and listened to the teacher, and suddenly just calligraphy sounds a lot like giving head. You know, because you gotta get the right moisture. And you gotta control the strokes. It can't be too wet or too slimy. You gotta get the ink exactly the same texture you want. And then you can't go too fast or slow. But sometimes you wanna do, like, a few strokes really fast. And then you slow down a little bit. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's actually all I had.
Mia Li, everybody.